Yes, we have a winner!
The Wii was a system that got a lot of flack last generation thanks to weaker hardware, poor third-party support, the lack of high definition, and hordes upon hordes of shovelware. But buried beneath the shovelware are some of the strangest and most wonderful games of the generation, from both Nintendo and some surprise third parties. So here are my top 10 Wii games. Remember that this list is in my opinion, so if a game you think should have made it doesn't show up, don't get upset, but leave a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear everyone else's favorites. Also, I'm leaving off any re-releases. Sorry, Pikmin 2. The biggest question here is why is Brawl so low? Out of every Wii game, I've probably put the most hours into this, but it's such an obvious choice and I feel like Smash 4 is outdated in many ways. The only reason I'd go back to it these days is for Project M or to play as Wolf and Snake. As for the game itself, it's Smash Bros. If you haven't played one yet, what's wrong with you? The Wii is often stereotyped as only having easy, casual, and small-scale games. It also has Monster Hunter Tri. There's nothing quite like mastering a weapon, destroying a massive creature that can kill you in seconds, and then turning him into your next weapon. This game is hard, it's unforgiving, and it's immensely satisfying. Few games give the feeling of improvement and growth quite like Monster Hunter. Unfortunately, newer games in the series have outdated Tri, so if you want to start your hunting career, you're better off picking up 3U or 4U. And I really suggest you do. It'll be a great 500 hours. To be honest, while capturing footage for this game, a lot of its criticisms became readily apparent. It holds your hand, it's incredibly linear, and it takes a long time for the game to get going. But the game itself just oozes creativity. The art style and landscapes are gorgeous, the music is fantastic, and it has some of my favorite dungeons and bosses in the series. I also believe the motion control was done very well, and I never had a problem with inaccuracies or unresponsiveness, though it is impossible to look cool while playing it. Also, can we talk about the Imprisoned? It's supposed to be the bestial form of a demonic god of war and chaos. So why is it so goddamn cute? Look at its little toes! What game do you think used the Wii's hardware to its fullest and truly made a game that just felt right with motion and pointer controls? Wii Sports Resort? Get out! The correct answer is Red Steel 2. The first Red Steel was pretty crappy and just didn't work properly, but the second is every shade of excellent. It's set in a world that's a brilliant samurai western and seamlessly combines first-person sword and gunplay. The basic idea is swing the Wiimote for your sword and point and click for your gun. But beyond that, there are tons of special moves that you can learn and abilities to unlock. Altogether, this adds up to one of the most satisfying combat systems I've ever played. Mastering it makes you unstoppable. Who here likes Mario Party? Alright, now hear me out. What if we take Mario Party and remove the minigames and interesting levels? We then replace it with an incredibly long Monopoly ripoff where Mario can face off against the slime from Dragon Quest to play the stock market. Sound like a good idea? Of course not! That's a terrible idea. Yet Fortune Street manages to be one of the most fun games I've ever played. After Smash Bros., when I'm with a group of friends, this is the next game that gets brought out. It manages to strip away all that we loved about Mario Party, but somehow manages to hold up even better. It's really hard to explain what makes this game so enjoyable, but if you get a chance, grab some friends and a copy of Fortune Street and watch the emotions fly. What would you say about a Wii game where your goal is to raise a kingdom from the ground up, crush every kingdom around you in order to dominate the entire planet, and take a wife from every king you bury underneath your feet? Little King Story! Yeah, this game is weird, but excellent. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm planning on making a full video on this in the near future, but if you're a fan of Pikmin and absurdity, then it's definitely worth a play. Earlier I mentioned casual, easy, and short games being a big stereotype of the Wii. And sometimes that's just fine. Kirby's Epic Yarn was criticized for being too easy since you can't fail a level in any way, but every now and then that's exactly what I need. It's fun, relaxing, gorgeous to look at, and the soundtrack never fails to put me in a good mood. It heavily uses its yarn mechanic in both aesthetics and gameplay, and the game controls so fluidly that I actually think it's the single best feeling 2D platformer out there. If I'm ever having a bad day, Kirby's Epic Yarn is the game I put in. How can you be mad at this little guy? It had to be up here. This game is just wonderful. Tight controls, imaginative worlds, glorious music, and a surprisingly touching story. I find it funny that Rosalina has more personality in one game than Peach after 30 years. It also has a sequel that a lot of people prefer, but I have to go with the original since it felt like more of an experience. The second felt like an expansion of the first gameplay, but was missing the hub world, the characters, and the charm of the first. It's an incredible continuation to the 3D Mario series that learned from the past. Now we just gotta wait for the next one. One of the most timeless NES games gets a modern-day remake and it's just flawless. Much like Monster Hunter, it's brutally hard and rewards you, the player, for getting better rather than your avatar getting better. I still haven't even beaten the game. Every character from the NES game has been perfectly updated and their personalities gloriously shine through their voices and animation. They even brought 2 characters from Super Punch-Out and made one original. I could go on and on about what makes this game so excellent, but instead I urge you to watch this extra credits video on Punch-Out where they thoroughly analyze the animation. I really hope a new Punch-Out comes out soon with more Super Punch-Out and original characters. Next Level Games truly did an incredible job rebooting this classic. What an absolute masterpiece. Xenoblade is a shining example of what JRPGs could have been if the genre still received the attention it used to. It has one of the most unique and creative settings I've ever seen, taking place on the bodies of 2 enormous titans forever locked in battle. Xenoblade is absolutely immense in every sense of the word. The world is huge and takes hours just to traverse, the story constantly twists and turns and can blow your mind at every cutscene, and the gameplay is an intriguing mix of both Eastern and Western design philosophies. It plays much like a single-player MMO, but lets you control very defined characters with very diverse roles and skills. Another thing I absolutely love about this game is its commitment to convenience. When you fulfill the requirements of a quest, you get the reward. No need to head back to the quest giver on most occasions. You can fast travel to any landmark you've encountered from any point without having to pay money or be at a specific travel point. And there aren't any huge limitations on quest limit or inventory space. That's not to say it's a perfect game. It does have its fair share of problems when it comes to pacing, and I did feel overwhelmed many times while playing it, but I loved all the time I spent in this incredible world. I can't wait until the new one, and I hope it can capture the same feeling. There are some truly great games on this system, and I feel bad about leaving so many out and narrowing it down to 10. I've always felt that some of the best games can come from places you'd never expect. In fact, I encourage you to take a chance and try out something you've never heard of. I'd also like to hear some of your favorite Wii games. This is a system with so many hidden gems, and I'd like to make an effort to uncover them all. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a like, and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. I posted a full comedy review on Pitfall: The Lost Expedition recently that you can watch right here. More videos, both silly and serious, are in the works.